Call Allah Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great Nelson and well. I am not a member, however, I've entered into their labors. Peace and mercy to the sincere brothers and sisters doing this wherever you are, whatever your life may be. And the theme here is just going to be really, you just need to continue to stay prayed up and be encouraged. Sorry, I'm a little out of breath. I was doing a workout and this hit me, so I paused it, and I can always go back to working out, right? Bodily, what does it say? Physical exercise profited little. I think it's how it goes. Let me see. Exercise. Yeah. Get the hell out of here. All right, 1 Timothy 4:8, right here in the NIV. First, for physical training is of some value, but godliness has a value of all things, holding promise for both. Dang it. Holding promise for both the present and the life to come. So that doesn't mean you shouldn't work out. You should absolutely work out. And on a side note, the exercise was 30-second jump rope. If you have kettlebells, and especially if you don't have a lot of money to get a gym membership, or you don't have a lot of time, get you some kettlebells, right? 2 45-pound kettlebells, and then you'll do kettlebell swings. 5 kettlebell swings, 5 squat thrusters, put those down right into 5 squat jumps. Then you start your circuit over again with your 30-second jump rope, and you do that as many as you can for 10 minutes. So anyway, on to more important things. This is the contrast, righteous and wicked contrasted. And you also see this in Proverbs too. And what brought this about was, we all go through low moments. And it is imperative, right? It is truly imperative that you continue to remember what's important. You may not have everything you want on this side, all right? But the Lord has always looked out. If you have your basic needs met in order for you to continue on with the ministry. You may not have a job at this point in time, but just be patient. And if you can, work on skills that will make you marketable, all right? Because we still have to eat while we have this fake similitude of freedom, right? Before, everybody has to eventually bend the knee to the left-hand side. Or, well, they're going to try and force people to bend the knee, basically. And, there are times where you will just randomly shed tears and you can't even explain it. There's nothing you could say to anybody. They won't understand. And it isn't for them to understand, right? That's why a lot of the things that are in these scriptures, especially the words of Yahushua, they are written in parables, because it is not for them to understand the mystery of the kingdom. You know what? We might as well just pull it up. Nah, mystery of the kingdom. Cause I know it won't come up in the KJV if you don't type it exactly right. It's in Matthew though, for sure. Matthew 13 and 11. No, I'll just pull up another one. So we'll get that. So really it's a mix of different things. Encouragement, reminder, put things into perspective, all of that. Because you can easily get discouraged, and you can easily get, a little bit jealous of the wicked sometimes. That's your flesh speaking. And you wonder how people are prospering and they're wicked. They have no care. They have no fear. They have no forethought. They are selfish. They're wicked in every step of the way. And not to say that, we are perfect, because, our righteousness is as filthy rags. But hell, at least we're trying. And it seems like you may be forgotten. But, that is the test. You got to keep the main thing the main thing. Laying in bed last night, starting to feel that way. And the Spirit hit me and was like, don't ever forget, you have the understanding of the truth. And you have to truly believe that. You just can't say those words and think something magically will happen. That has to be in you. That has to truly be a treasure that is hidden deep in your heart. All right, that is something that you truly have to be proud about. All right, this is Matthew 13 and 11 here. He answered and said unto them, because it is given you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given, right? So it's not meant for everybody to understand. Okay, so what the first thing I thought about was reading through the book of Psalms, especially I think the first 10 books, and we'll just skim through these and read them. And prayerfully, this is something that is encouraging, and maybe it'll push you to continue on to read and continue on to meditate onto all the good Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai, right, they have done for you in your life. Because there are times where you thought that, there was, I hate to sound like cliche, but basically the Lord truly does make a way out of no way. It is not for you to see it. If you could see an out, there would be no need for faith. So, this is the righteous and the wicked contrast, right? Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful, right? You have to walk clean, contrary. And that is a book in the scripture, I think it's Wisdom of Solomon. He clean, contrary to us or our ways. Or is it Ecclesiasticus? It is Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 12. Cool. And this is another comparison of the righteous and the wicked. And you can literally look and see that is Jake and Esau, right? Easy peasy. You can make that comparison. All right. Let our strength, this is 11, let our strength be the law of justice, for which that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth, which is why they look at humility and meekness as weakness, and they are outwardly tough and manly, but inwardly they, you know what they do. Or secretly, should I say, or behind closed doors, you know what they do. All right, verse 12, therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn. He is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraideth us with our offering the law, with our offering, offending the law, and object to our infamy, the transgressing of our education. He professeth to have the knowledge of God, and he calls himself the child of the Lord. He was made to reprove our thoughts, and yes, he was. Yes, we are. That is why, your little season is coming to an end, and the earth must be put back in a proper order. He was made to reprove our thoughts. He is grievous unto us, even to behold. For his life is not like the other men's. His ways are of another fashion. And that is something you should strive to be. People should be able to see that on you without you even saying a word. And it does. You change inwardly first, and then your outward appearance changes. Even your energy changes. People stare at you, and you have to get used to that. It ain't because, maybe you are attractive. I'm a regular looking dude, but you change. You definitely change, and people stare. It's a weird thing to behold, but who cares? Let them stare. It doesn't matter. But F them. But this is where our delight should be, not only in the law, but pleasing the Lord, having that faith. Without faith, it is impossible to please him. Now, does the law save you? No, but this is an act of faith. This is a damn good insurance policy right here, to follow the ways, all right, to show the Lord you take his laws seriously. You take him seriously. You don't take him for a fool, that you have a proper fear, a healthy fear of Yahweh Bashim Shai, right? Because fear is the beginning of wisdom. All right, the ungodly are not so. They are like chaff which the wind driveth away, right? Born to and fro, every wind of doctrine, whatever floats their boat at that point in time, that's where they're at, right? All right, for the Lord, or for Yahweh knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish, right? So your deeds are not being unnoticed. Even the very thoughts that aren't of you, and there's their wicked thoughts, but you make a concerted effort to put those behind you, and to remain upright. All right, integrity is what you do when nobody's looking, and best believe nobody in the flesh is looking, but the angels are recording all of our deeds, good and bad, right? So we'll skim through here with the that really ain't the one. All right, morning prayer of trust in the Lord. So there's all kind of food, all right? That's good, whether it's milk or steak. There's all kind of food to eat and digest. You can sit there, meditate on it, mull over the word. You know in your heart, you feel it, because the Spirit was given unto you that it reigns true, and you but need to read, understand, and execute. All right. This is the Psalm of David when he fled from his son. Okay, now he wants his trust to be continued to, he wants to be able to continue to trust in the Lord, right? Not to let his wicked thoughts take over, or to let that seed of doubt take root, right? Many there be which say of my soul, there is no help for him in God, Selah. But thou, O Yahweh, art a shield for me, my glory, and the lifter up of mine head. I cried unto Yahweh with my voice, and he heard me out of his holy hill. I laid me down and slept. I awake, for Yahweh sustained me. And these are things that we ought to think about, because there are plenty of people that wake up without the use all of a sudden of extremities, or they lost their damn anything. Any and everything could happen to you. And so each and every day we go to work, come home, go to the gym, do what we do, and we come home in one piece, and our mind and our faith and everything is intact, is a blessing. To be able to understand and execute with this word, and with your with uprightness, and to what's the word I'm looking for? Um, not doubt or not falter, or to be able to fight that doubt, or be able to fight that urge to falter. That is all a blessing. These are things that you cannot take for granted. All right, arise, O Lord, save me, my power, for thou hast smitten all mine enemies upon the cheekbone. Thou hast broken the teeth of the ungodly, and that is what we look for. Because the carnal means that is not your blessing. Don't ever forget that. Now, that's not to say if somebody attack you, you don't defend yourself. I'm just saying, you don't go around acting like an E, right? You utilize what is naturally flowing unto you, right? What does he say? E have I, Jacob have I loved, but E have I hated. Why would you operate in the blessing of somebody that the Lord hates? Utilize what was given to you. It was literally put in you for a reason. Look at that. There's a morning and an evening prayer. Always in prayer. As you wake up, you give thanks and pray for protection. If you go lay down, you give thanks and you pray for the protection, right? O ye sons of men, how long will you turn my glory into shame? How long will ye love vanity and seek after leasing? Let me see. Thou hast put gladness in my heart. Let's see. More than in the time that their corn and their wine increase. I will both lay me down in peace and sleep, for thou, Yahweh, only makest me dwell in safety. And that is that's what I was looking for, that main portion. You can lay your head down in peace and safety, and those things will slowly, will not be as obvious, or actually you will be thankful. You will be thanking the Lord more and more. Because as of now, you can lock your door and you got electricity and you can just kind of lay down and do what you do. But as the dainties of Babylon and the amenities slowly falter and the love of many continue to wax cold, and when folks have nothing else to lose, they lose it. All right, these things are going to be made more evident. You're going to be a lot more thankful. The things that we took for granted, you will no longer do so. And I think this makes the point here. I think, let's see, well, yeah, prayer for protection from the wicked, obviously, and that's why I said the first 10 books of Psalms, um, yeah, I think they open up with a banger. These are things that you can do throughout your daily life, right? And it kind of good grief, helps you put things into perspectives, and gives you ideas on what to pray on, to how to formulate your morning prayer, your evening prayer, your prayer throughout the day, what to meditate on. And it'll call into remembrance things that, the normal person, the uninitiated, may take for granted, right? All right, my voice shalt thou hear in the morning, O Lord. In the morning will I direct my prayer unto thee, and will look up, for thou art not a power that has pleasure in wickedness, neither shall evil dwell with it or with thee. The foolish shall not stand in thy sight. Thou hatest all workers of iniquity. So how do you want to behave? Do you want to behave like what the Lord hates, or do you want to chase his vibration? Right? How do you ask for protection if you cannot listen to direction? You got to live. It's like if you tell your wife, hey man, don't wear that and don't go out at 3 o'clock in the morning. And she hollering, you controlling, you can't tell me what to do, blah, 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 woody, woody, woo. Then whatever happens to you, happens to you. Because you put yourself, should it happen? Should people be able to walk around at 3 o'clock in the morning? Sure. Can you? No. Is that the reality we live in? No. There are things you do to protect your soul, on the spiritual things, and there are things that you do to protect yourself physically. You avoid certain acts. You avoid certain looks. You avoid or dressing a certain way. You avoid acting a certain way. All right, portraying yourself. These are all things that you can proactively do. All right, but as for me, I will come into thy house in the multitude of thy mercy, and in thy fear will I worship towards the holy temple. Lead me, O Yahweh, in thy righteousness, because of mine enemies maketh thy way straight before my face. And we all have enemies, seen and unseen. Some you may not know right then and there, but eventually they will rear their head. So it is imperative that you are in constant prayer to be kept from the wicked. That is my morning prayer, right? Guide our comings and goings. Keep us from the wicked, and don't take your spirit. Do not take your spirit from me. Let me keep my understanding of this word. And as soon as I pull up to the crib, at the end of the day, I'm thinking, I'm giving thanks. Anything can happen. That is just the time we are in. You must be circumspect. All right. So yeah, the points made here. That's just something that hit me, and I had to stop and go ahead and knock that out real quick. So I truly, truly pray. That is my utmost prayer, is that anybody that happens to see this, you are edified, you are strengthened, and you are inspired to either do your lesson on your own, or you are inspired to correct whatever action that may have been called out within these videos. So with that being said, I truly pray that you are edified. Shalom.